Yay, I did it. Jace, just so you know, I'm like live on stream now. Not like it's any big deal, but just so you're aware. Okay, so let's see. Create 10 drawings of Homer Simpson using different poses. Use the Simpsons PDF as a reference. Make small thumbnail studies first to make sure you have strong poses. Draw 1 Homer per page. Jesus, that's so many Homers. That's a lot of Homer Simpsons. Okay, so let's see. They want 8.5 by 11 paper. And actually, that's fine. I don't normally work in this size, but... Oh, and then they have their layout sheet. Cool, I can just turn them all in on one. Ew, I've never seen a broken down version of how to draw Homer Simpson, and I kind of never want to see it ever again. I forget, is Matt Groening behind The Simpsons as well? Yeah, he is. That's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to need to generate some random poses. And some random themes here. So we're going to just go into a... Okay. Hold on. Actually, I have the power to do this in an easy way that requires me to not think. And we're gonna do that because I can do that. Because I am lazy. And I'm not warmed up, so this first one's going to be rough. Okay, so this is what we're doing here. Okay, interesting. Alright, so I found a nice pose for a samurai. So this is what we're doing here. This is about to be the most ridiculous drawing assignment I've ever done in my life. So this is about to be super funny, and I'm ready to go. But I gotta like actually kind of fly in order to get through these, so that way I can turn them in on time. Alright, so I'm gonna grab my drawing reference, and we're gonna actually put this here so that I can see what I'm doing over here, like this. And then I'm going to close out of this, and then I need to go back over to Homer so I can see what the fuck is going on. Thankfully, my observational drawing skills are pretty damn good. Let's see, so I want this. This is gonna be my body line here. And we have, this is the weird upper torso portion of Homer's body. So we're gonna do an under sketch first, because I really want this to be pulled out like pretty far. Because then this is the front of it, and then for the sake of this, let me bring this down a little bit. This is definitely the weirdest assignment I've ever had to do in my life. I don't want to do any kind of bell-bottom pants here yet, or I'm not going to put any clothing, like, conceptually on him yet. But what we are going to do, it's a bummer because they don't really, like, talk about how to bend. Sense of roundness to the knee joints, elbow joints. So let me get this in like this. Okay, I know that this is sucking so far. Keep pace with me here. Okay, let me actually, I don't know. Oh no, I'm right. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was doing over there. This is definitely a wild time. Okay, so then I'm able to effectively, like, have a foot, and then this is like another foot here, like this, so we can lean him back like this, and then we have, I'm actually going to bring this a little bit closer. What I'm hoping is that this will just turn out really, really well. And I won't have to worry about it too bad. Oh, but he's got pretty thick ass, hold on, thick ass wrists. Let me make sure, yeah, we're good. It's tough because the other student that I saw that did this assignment, they unfortunately put Homer's head on a realistic body. Hey, Poison. I'm doing okay. Working on some homework assignments for school, which is... This is definitely, like, not how I envisioned my day going. But it is what it is. So this is definitely the weirdest homework assignment I've ever done in my life. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Okay, so now that's our base. Thankfully, these don't have to be anything complicated. Like, after I get done with this, I can move on to the next one. I am going to have to figure out his costuming, though, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to use the costuming that's there. I've never drawn this character before in my life, but Effectively, what we're doing is an exercise in how to force yourself to draw in other styles for other studios. So in this case, it's Homer Simpson. So if I were to get hired to work on The Simpsons, you know, you got to learn how to draw like that and how to be expressive in that way. Oh, I'm sorry you're struggling with your novel. Maybe we can workshop some stuff. If you need any help or if you want some feedback on stuff, I am always here. Me too, though. I've been, like, waiting for effectively, like, finishing certain things. I had to wait to get my stuff back from an editor, so now I get to go in and do my stuff. Finally. What kind of expressions do we got? Oh, yeah, the eyebrows function as some weird, like, eyebrow nubs. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and lay in some eyebrow nubs. Got some cool Homer Simpson. Is this how I make my entire career, just drawing samurai Homer Simpsons? Okay, well, it's working. It looks like Matt Groening, so I'm doing okay. How do you name a city? Oh, I use random city name generators, to be honest. Yeah, because legit, I get stuck there too. So I'll always go to Google and be like random fantasy name generator or city name generator. And do it that way. Because you're right, it is really, really, really hard for whatever reason. Okay, so that's definitely looking correct, which is great. I'm going to flip this so that I can use my reference sheet. Flip it back. And I would draw just his little bald-ass head, but I think that this samurai hair is actually going to be pretty important for this character design. So I am, though, going to harken back to this hairline because I think it's important for his character design. And then let's get some samurai top knot going here. This is hilarious, and I have never felt so attacked in my whole life. I'm not saying that this is going to be a good drawing, it just is. And I'm going to keep to like really simple shapes, like as if I were to be animating this, so there's going to be almost little to no detail in the costume. Let me save this assignment out, actually, because I haven't touched it. Let me figure out what I'm supposed to... Oh, yeah, no, I would definitely recommend using, like, a random city name generator then. Or you can take city names from real-life places. Like, I was just working on a Beauty and the Beast-inspired one, for example, so I took French, like, city names and just randomly picked some because it fits the theme. But that's what I do. And then I'll tweak them to make sure that they're, like, the right, I guess, theme. Oh, this is not out far enough. It's hard when you're working with faces in perspective. This is not out far enough, though. I can say that for sure. It actually goes significantly beyond his face. There we go, that's better. Okay, so now I'm just going to use, thankfully, this reference here that I have to be able to paint my clothes, so I don't have to worry about that too bad. So A+, thank you to whoever did this initial drawing. I'm doing like a samurai parody of Homer Simpson using your artwork as reference. Thanks again. Never change. I appreciate you and love you. You are helping me so much and you don't even know. Oh, and then his hands are like little dough balls. Alright, this is where this gets really difficult. Alright, so we got effectively fingers like this. Which actually, that's not that bad. I can see why Matt picked this kind of a style to animate, because this is actually incredibly quick to draw, all things considered. And then I imagine with the advent of computer animation, it's like really fast. I don't even know if they still do traditional stuff. Hi, Mr. Man. My cat's like beating me up over here. Oh, yeah. I need to organize them based on who lives there. That is tough. That's a lot. That's a lot of content. I also have to somehow get people to live there because it's a small hidden place that no one knows exists. Oh, yeah, and that's hard too. I can see that. Well, I mean, if you think about things over time, you know, like small places or places that have a lot of people in them in like weird remote areas typically didn't really start out as you know, a bunch of people moving there all at once, you know what I'm saying? And so maybe thinking about it more like a couple of people moved there to begin with, and then those couple of people turn into more people because reasonably people have babies, you know, and so it's more like that's how that works. Mr. Man, I'm gonna need you to chill out. Oh, do you want to just come up here? My cat's like, I want to sit on you. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, and he's only got... Hey, don't claw my chair. You can just come up here. You don't have to claw your chair or my chair to get my attention. You can just come up. Come on, bud. He's so weird. Alright. I don't know why he's like this. I couldn't tell you. This initial artist did an exceptional job of... Sir, you can come up on the other side. Okay, well, come on. He's so confused. My cat's like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, I don't know. No, you can't get up here. If you're gonna be on my desk, you gotta be on my lap. You can't... Sir? You gotta lay down or not at all. I don't know what Homer's naked ankles look like. What do we do with Homer's naked ankles? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna figure it out. Let's see. I bet you somebody's Homer Simpson in swimsuit. What is his... Okay, alright, so he's effectively got stumps for legs. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, they had to have drawn him in a swimsuit. Oh, yeah, no, what I'm saying, Poison, is that long ago in history, not recently, but long ago in history, only a couple of people showed up, and that's how that many people got there. Is that there were initially, like hundreds of years ago, were only a couple of people, and they got together, had babies, and so it's been a long time since that initial group got there, and that could be how you explain how those people get there. Because that's typically how, like, standard humans get there. Like, in, like, really remote places, like, for example, in places in Tibet, as something I can think of off the top of my head. Or in, like, on islands, it'll always be, like, a couple of people on islands that made it out to the island, you know, in the first place, but, that's how they got there. So that's how you could explain, you know, like, you could have somebody in the village be like, yeah, you know, hundreds of years ago, my ancestors, came and we've been living here since then, and then that's how you explain it. So then you could have a village of a couple thousand people if you wanted to, because population growth is actually kind of crazy. I have a story in which an isolated area starts off with 1,000 people in like the year 1960, and 100 years later, there's almost 100,000 people living in that area. So that's like, at least based on the research that I did, that's how fast that grows in terms of population. It can actually bloom pretty quickly. Okay, I'm gonna have to put the sum right. Sir, look, bud, go bother Jace. Okay, we can't do this. Go lay down on a comfy mountain or something. Like, I don't know what to tell you, sir. Poor cat. He's so mad at me. All right, so now let's get a samurai sword here. A katana. So I'm just gonna kind of put this like this. Yes. This is it. This is the weirdest art assignment I've ever done in my life. And I don't want this to be like super intensive here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and really quickly like, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. All right. Goodbye. So I guess I'm saving these out as individual little drawings. I really would love to be able to get some like action lines in here. But I don't know if that's like too much, probably. I don't need to put that much effort into it. Okay, so now I gotta do 9 more of these. Ew. I'm looking for good pose references, and because everybody and their brother has drawn a ballerina, oh, that's good. I don't want to make all of these just like absolutely like super complicated, because I don't really need that in my life right now. Oh yeah, I gotcha. I mean, yeah, I would research if you can how Polynesian people, Pacific Islander people, populated the entire Pacific Ocean, because there are a bunch of little islands like that are really hard to find. And they managed to, with very, like, I don't want to say limited resources, because they are actually, like, super resourceful, with, I should say, Paleolithic resources, because this was literally like probably like several 100,000 years ago, build boats and like build boats to go and build cities. How are you going to build a city if you have 4 people? Yeah, you just have to get people onto the island. That's just the way that that goes, unfortunately. That would be my solution to it anyway, is you'd have to figure out how to get people onto that island, and most likely boats would be the answer. Alright, so let me go back to this again. I'm glad that this character is actually pretty easy to draw, and now that I know what I'm doing, I'm not like super scared of it. This is like following the directions in one of those like how to draw books, except the how to draw book, you're going rogue. Like violently rogue. I don't think Matt Groening expected this out of his character. Yeah, because definitely over here, like in the United States, like Hawaii wouldn't exist if Polynesian people hadn't effectively traveled from Asia on boats to remote islands to build cities, empires. Like they had a king. You know, it was actually kind of a shitload of people. And these are like warships, like definitely not like little boats. These were like, I mean, if you've seen Moana, it's that, like, because Moana is based on those people. So those big, like, Pacific Island or Pacific Ocean dwelling like war vessels would be enough to hold like probably several hundred people if you were to have like a fleet of them. But I'm not super well versed on unfortunately on like Pacifica history, so I don't know how like exactly those boats work. Okay, so this is going to go like this. Like that. I'm going to make this a little wider. They really function off of like, it's like ragdoll parts. Hi, thank you. Yay. Thank you so much, Jace. I appreciate you. Yeah, because we're definitely not talking like Greek rowboat like here in the Boatman.
Do you want tea or coffee?
Oh, I would love some like tea. Probably would be great. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, this is really a whole thing. Yes, Polynesian and Pacifica peoples. Pacifica includes Samoans, Hawaiians, Fijians, Filipinos. There's like a whole, like literally probably dozens of ethnic groups, but those are the peoples who inhabit the Pacific Islands, yes. But those guys are probably the best seafarers on the planet. Like, those guys were the go-to seafaring folks. Oh god, Homer Simpson is never drawn from the front, so I'm gonna have to draw this. You flip this way. So we always draw his head from the side because he's a weird bean man. So we're gonna, I guess, have this like this. This is like a little bit extra. Oh, I need this head to be bigger. I need actually all of this upper body, this torso, everything needs to be bigger. Hold on. I'm drawing it too realistically to human proportions, and I need to make sure that this is not like that. Where'd he go? That's better. Yeah, the other people that I would look at would be like Viking people, or more so like Proto-Nordic people. Those guys also had insane boats, and obviously got very far, like all the way through to like Asia on their boats. Let me see how far I can really tweak this face. Let's see, and in order to close his eyes, I'm gonna actually go like that. He's like effectively a Muppet. Or also, too, you could also look at the Japanese people as well, because they would have had to travel between islands to populate all of the islands of Japan, or the Filipinos. Well, Filipinos are Pacifica, too. Yeah, they have literally 1,000 islands in the Philippines, so they would have had to populate it in some way. I'm gonna eat breakfast really fast. Yeah, I would say definitely just be careful. Make sure you do your research if you're going to base stuff off of Polynesian myths. Asian cultures and indigenous cultures are often violently misrepresented. So if you're going to do that, just be careful. But otherwise, yeah, their architecture is beautiful. They're they have some of the coolest food architecture. People, like the nicest people in the world. They're, yeah. I'm only a little bit biased because my fiance is Pinoy. But his mom is like one of the nicest people I've ever met. Come on, hand. Yeah, it's tough to do this, and not have computerized content here, because guaranteed the Simpsons are now using computers to do all of this. They're not doing it by hand. And this is like fun and everything, but yeah. I would also check out like how population growth in cities works too. That was something that I had to do a lot of research on. But that's like half of writing, you know, is like doing research. Even if you're building a fantasy world, you have to research. Because otherwise your world isn't believable. Or it can come off as really cliche. Hi, Cal. How's it going? How are you? You came into the weird shit, Cal. Yes, I am drawing a Homer Simpson ballerina. Yes, you are seeing that correctly. This is actually not long enough. Believe it or not. It is. Yeah, this is for a school assignment. We're effectively learning how to style mimic. And also the effectiveness of simplified character designs as well, because Homer Simpson has probably one of the best, like Matt Groening has maybe the best, if like the only one I can think of that maybe is better is the style for Bob's Burgers, but one of the best art styles for animation. So therefore you learn. Actually, I would like to bring this down a little bit more, a little bit softer. So we've already drawn Samurai Homer, and now we're drawing Ballerina Homer, because clearly that's important. I have to do like 10 of these today, so I'm not super excited about it. I don't even know if Homer Simpson, do they draw his knees? No, he has like, he's just a flesh lump. Oh, but they do draw his butt though. Like a little bit of a booty cheek. So I will draw just a touch of a butt cheek. Alright. What's hard is getting him to fit into certain shoes. But that's okay. We're making it happen. Thank you, Jace. Be careful with your crisp bread, Jace, because it's stacked kind of high, so all of the cucumber just like slid off of mine, and it was kind of terrifying. So just don't drop it. Don't drop your cucumber.
Okay.
Yep, so he's beautiful. Long story short, we're doing great. Here's Ballerina or Samurai Homer. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good on like the stylization aspect of this all. I could be doing a lot worse. I've had to draw Homer Simpson's feet twice now, and I really don't. I feel like that unlocks some trauma on the internet that I don't even want to deal with. But like honestly, that looks pretty good, to be honest. I might put some little details here, like the... No, they're beautiful. You love them. Hi, Goose! Everybody's showing up. Hi, Jace. What the hell is going on here? I'm doing art school homework, so we're drawing Homer Simpson as a ballerina. And actually, I'm realizing I'm still having issues here. Let me fix it. I need this bigger. Yeah, that's better. I just need to make sure that this is proportionately good. I keep trying to draw him with real human proportions, and that's not how this works. Because this is Homer Simpson, and he is an actual blob. There, that's better. Maybe a little smaller on the head, but the torso needed to be bigger. I don't know why this cat keeps trying to traumatize me here. There we go, that's better. Yep, so we're learning how to simplify down for animation is the biggest one here, because a lot of people try and go into animation way too complicated, and it can be really hard. Also, too, I think, now that I'm looking at it, I was going to pick up my breakfast really fast, but I'm thinking that actually this is not quite right. Hydrate! I have tea. Let me blow on it really fast. There we go. That's better. Yeah, there we go. Better. All right, so now that's 2. I'm going to drink my tea. I think it's the... Is it the Irish Stout, Jace?
Huh?
Is it the Irish Stout tea?
No, it's the Brigadoon.
Ah, Brigadoon. Oh, wow. Alpha Taurus TV. Holy moly. What a time to be alive. Wow. Can somebody ban that out of the chat? Because I cannot.
Laura already did.
Oh, cool. Thanks. You're the best. Okay, I'm gonna do Chef Homer. Let's do Chef. Okay, I'm gonna eat some more crisp bread though. Give me just a second to nosh on this crunchy boy. Be gone! I'm very thankful to all of these amazing visual developers who have absolutely wonderful art. The hard part is, there we go, that's much better in terms of proportions. The ballerina was difficult. I just want to know what made Matt Groening wake up and go, you know what would be great? This horrendous bean monster. That's what we're doing. Like, you know, I have a lot of questions and no answers. Like, but how's everybody doing? Hopefully y'all are doing well. And not trapped like me in a weird Homer Simpson hole. I was avoiding this until today, and then now here we are. So that's cool. Bean monster with a thumb head. True. Well, hopefully you can rest up a little bit. Sorry you've been tired. That sounds exhausting. Sure. No, Mr. Man. Oh my god. Bro, you almost made me drop salmon on your head. Maybe that's what you wanted all along. Damn. Yeah, it sounds like your body's really going through it. You did just have, like, kind of a medical emergency, though, so, like, I'm sure your body's exhausted as hell. He already received some smoked salmon. Well, that's not stopping him from doing it over here. He has to receive sacrifices from both parties. Didn't you know that, Jace? It is the way. Who? Just Matt. I will make it everybody's problem now. It's true, though. He's so bad. I do like how, let me flip this so that I can capture this expression appropriately. Hopefully this guy will like these drawings and I can just be like, surprise! I would have never guessed that this was what I was going to be doing with my life, though. If you had told me at the beginning of this semester that I was going to be drawing a bunch of Homer Simpsons, I wouldn't have believed you. And I'm probably not going to get done with these today either, guaranteed. And so then I'm going to have to scream and do them later tonight. Because they're due tomorrow. Flip. Really could probably bring this out a little bit more. Excuse me. I do appreciate how Homer Simpson is also like 99% of the time really cockeyed. Oh, I gotta draw him in a chef hat. So He's not gonna have anything going on. I'm not gonna make this chef hat like this big though. I'm gonna have it be a little chef hat. Chef hat. It looks like broccoli. Yeah. I feel like my... Hold on. Hot take, though, I always found Homer Simpson incredibly creepy looking. Like, I feel like Matt's work with Futurama is significantly better. Yeah, I haven't seen a single episode of The Simpsons, actually. So I've, like, completely avoided all of that. I just think he's ugly looking. Like, the character is, like, really... Like, I understand why it is the way that it is, because it's incredibly effective in terms of animation, but also I think that this character is ugly as fuck looking. Fry from Futurama is a much more, like, elegant-looking character. I'll even take that one girl from fucking Disenchanted over this. And I think for me, it's mostly to do with, like, the eyes. Like, it's just not, like, appealing to me. Like, I wouldn't want to watch this over and over. Because there are other characters that have similar designs. Like, I think Mabel and Dipper from Gravity Falls, like, that style is actually a little bit... It's pretty similar to this in terms of ease of animation. I would absolutely watch that over looking at this. I prefer South Park's style to this, but I recognize that it's, like, not for everybody, you know? And I recognize that it's been around for a really long time. Hi Shinko, what's going on? How are you? Welcome to the I'm Drawing Homer Simpson and Suffering stream. I really am just crying. I'm drawing Homer for school, and I don't want to anymore. I'm only 3 Homers in, and I'm already done with Homer. I have to do 10 Homers. It's a ludicrous amount of Homers. Ah, this school's fine. This is a very weird assignment, though. There's something here that's, like, not clicking. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do in a better way possible, and I think that was what just happened to me. There we go, better. Sometimes your muscle memory is gonna be better than your actual eyes. No! I'm sorry that you spilt tea on your notebook. Oh, that is the worst. I've definitely done that before, and it is like, yeah, it is the worst. Let me get his actual regular shoes. Do I feel like the head is not big enough again? Damn it. I keep having this problem. I keep trying to make him too people-shaped. He needs to not be people-shaped. Only monstrosity-shaped. Hold on. I got it. That's better, but I am gonna need to go like this. He looks like he's going tee-hee. I need to make sure that the next time I do this, I use a smaller brush. I ain't even mad. Honestly, there are other people who are putting in like shittier work than this, so I'm not gonna worry about it too bad. Okay, Chef Homer, complete. I keep doing these dynamic ass poses, and I don't know why I was doing this. More splatters. I was drinking and a cough came up. No! And so you were like dying actively. Oh, that's the worst. Oh my god, it smells lightly of pumpkin spice. Well, there you go. I'm glad it wasn't the whole page though. That would be a bummer. I've definitely done that with like a cookbook where I dumped an entire cup of coffee on it, and it's like, all right, good job, me. Yeah, I don't know why I keep doing these complicated ass poses. I don't have to be doing this. I could just be doing normal ass Homer pose. But nope, I don't know why I'm doing this. He's just a light bulb. I'm gonna make, oh, I guess the head and the torso are actually kind of the same size. Yeah, it's gonna look like it. It does look like a thumb, though. You're right, Cal. Heyo. Posture check. Everybody sit up straight. Don't be a shrimp. Don't be a shrimp. Don't be a shrimp. Don't be a shrimp. So let's see now. Oh, I forgot arms. He doesn't need arms. Arms are for the weak. Arms are silly. It's a lot of foreshortening, and I'm not a fan of that, but that's fine. Arms are for the Weenie Hut Juniors. True. Jace, how does it feel to not be doing school actively? It must be nice. It's gotta kind of suck to have your job be draw Homer Simpson all day, every day. Like, I don't imagine that this would be fun, actually. Like... We're gonna do a bean mouth. O shape. We're actually gonna do an eyebrow. He's like belting out some sweet lyrics or some shit, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You know, where is the ear below the eye and the nose? His little two hairs have to be going fucking absolutely ape shit. Also, I don't know who decided that in this pose that that's a rock star outfit. I'm gonna do something super simple though. I don't wanna have to suffer more than I need to. Sure. So I bet y'all didn't think that you were going to be coming into stream seeing this today. How does it feel? How does it feel to know that you're in the cheese touch? You're in the bad timeline. I feel like I went a little bit too apeshit here, so I'm gonna bring it in just a little bit, actually. Oh my god, why can I not arm all of a sudden? Hello? That's fine. I could be doing a lot worse. This is definitely the most cursed assignment I've ever done in my life. I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to be here. Okay, so I need something that is actually guitar-shaped, yeah? I will say, though, I am very impressed with my ability to pastiche other people's art styles. At the very least, I have that, if nothing else. Now, granted, is this guitar a little wonky shaped? Yeah. Do I really care? Not really. I ain't even mad about it. Okay, what I do want to have, though, is a chain. Let's see. Oh, why would it do this to me? He's like a cool, like, yeah, that works. Yeah, okay, we're almost there. Almost halfway through. This one's definitely, oh, well, I see why. Jesus, wow. You ever just, like, go back and look at something and you go, oh, I know exactly what's wrong with that. Damn. They're better. I'm just looking at these to make sure proportionally we're looking okay. Yeah, we're looking alright. Bye, Shinko! See you later! Good luck with your book, and if you want to share it with us at any point, please do, because I'm excited to see what you're working on. Good luck. Hydrate. I'm drinking some tea. Jace, do you want an extra piece of toast? Can you wrap mine up in some cling wrap so the avocado doesn't get all weird? I can't fit any more toast in my body. I'm fine. Okay, let's do... I really thought that I wasn't going to be able to stream today because they're doing, like, mad construction outside. Thank you, Jace. Yeah. Honestly, I could probably eat that crisp bread like legit all day. Okay, I'm taking a risk here. You know that moment when you're going to be like listlessly floating through space? That's the pose here. Y'all, I don't want to do this anymore. Why did I go to art school? Like, how did this happen to me? I made this decision for myself. May I ask why this was like the idea? Were you given a prompt? No, I definitely did not come up with this in my own head. So effectively, this assignment serves a couple of different purposes. First, in terms of visual development, Homer Simpson is really well designed, even though he's ugly as fuck. And the reason he's well designed is because his shape design is really, really, really good. Like, it's almost to the extent where you're looking at him here, and you can already tell just based on the shapes that are here who this character is, which is incredibly effective. Secondly, he was designed for animation in such a way that he is really easy to draw and simplified. For a lot of people who are going into this degree program, this is something that I've already learned, so it's not a new concept to me. But for a lot of newer students, drawing for animation, they go in with a mangaku state of mind where they want to create these beautiful, complex characters that are really difficult to draw. And so this forces people to learn what it is to still have dynamic posing and simplify down while maintaining the essence of a character. And thirdly, it's easier to do a character study like this rather than come up with your own character. Homer Simpson's, because he's easy to draw, because he was designed for animation, is a great place to start. So I'm assuming that those are the reasons why the teacher or the person who designed this course selected this. Yeah, so there's a couple of reasons. I would not have chosen to draw fucking Homer Simpson if I didn't have to. I'd be drawing literally anything else. Let me see if I can get a good expression on this guy's face. Also, too, there are a lot of drawing resources about Homer Simpson as well. So it's like, if you needed to draw him for whatever reason, you could. You know, like, you can find how to draw tutorials on Homer Simpson really easily. So I'm sure that that was part of the idea here. I'm not going to do too much detail on his head because I'm going to be covering it with an astronaut helmet. So let's do that now. But yeah, I think that this is mostly for the teacher as well to gauge people's drawing ability or the ability to follow directions. Because definitely already 2 people have submitted their assignment and they didn't... One person did follow the directions, but it's not a very good execution. Like, if I was the teacher, I'd probably give them a C. But the other person did not follow the directions, so they may get... even though they're technically very skilled at art, they might also get a C simply because they didn't do the assignment. So... Which is what it is, you know. Actually, I'm not even gonna worry about it. It would be funny. It would make for a funny illustration. No, I will. I'll insert it in a second. Actually. I have a dumb idea. And it's silly. Let's get some floating crumbs off into space so that way it's very clear that he is floating around. Yeah, definitely this is not the first time I've had to do this as, like, kind of assignment, actually. I did something very similar to this in undergrad. I don't remember which character we were drawing, though. Oftentimes they'll have you draw, like, Mickey Mouse or something. Because same idea, he's just a bunch of fucking circles. Oh, God. Okay, let me tell you all the funny story about how one time my roommate actually maced himself and literally set off a capsaicin bomb in our entire kitchen, and he did so by cooking jalapenos without de-seeding them first. And so he effectively maced our entire kitchen. Yep, it was an accident, but yeah, the capsaicin was real. And it was really funny because he was like maybe 5'11" in height, and he was tall enough to be stuck in the cloud of capsaicin that collected on the ceiling of the kitchen. And I, as a 5'5" individual, was just short enough to walk under the cloud of pepper spray that he had made. And yeah, it was really funny. He was fine, but like... I actually have not seen a single episode of Chowder. But how you doing? How you doing, Gabriel? Hopefully you're doing great. Since we got a couple of people in here now, I will make the announcement that I wanted to let everybody know I only have one more commission slot left. So if you would like a commission, please feel free to reach out. Portraits are no longer on sale because we actually met the commission goal, which is great. So thank you so much to everybody who purchased commissions, but if you want one, I got one left. That also includes like editing and things like that as well, so if you need a book edited or if you need some help with book design or any of that stuff, that is the place to be. Yeah, so, oh, speaking of that, too, since we met our commission goal, I did put up a poll in the, let's see, it was in the announcements section, if you want to go and see. I did post it in there. I don't know, it looks like no one... There we go. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, be sure to check it out over in the announcements tab. There is a small, like, reaction poll over there for which game we're going to be playing, so feel free to check it out. And, thanks again for that. We'll be doing an 8-hour game stream, and it'll be very fun, and I am so excited about it. And it should be a very good time. So thanks again to everybody who helped support the art. Oh, I thought I was supposed to wait. Yeah, I know. I was like, I realized I was a big old dummy dumb. That was my bad, because I, like, straight forgot to actually put the reactions in there. Can you tell that I've, like, low-key been on fire since this school semester started? I can't even tell you. I've been pulling, like, probably, like, 10-hour days every day since, like, starting this semester. It has not been fun. But yeah, if you want to leave the react in there, that was me. I am a big old silly Billy. We can figure out what we want to do and just have a nice time. You know, relax. And I probably won't do it until after my school semester is over, or if I have any kind of break period. It'll be something that I'll have to plan for, simply because I'm so busy with work and everything like that. So I'll definitely be sure to keep all y'all in the loop. And it'll most likely be, like, on... I don't know, I might do a doodle poll. Make sure everybody can, like, actually make it, you know, whether it's on the weekend or things like that, because I want to be sure that, like, people can have a better time on stream and catch it, so that I'm not streaming, like, during the day, you know? Because we don't want that. We don't want to have people not be able to make it, because that would be very sad. I'm not even mad. I'm not even going to worry about this. Actually, for the sake of his little boots, I'm going to simplify it way, 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 way down. Choo! Sorry. But yeah, so if the Sims wins, we'll be able to pick, like, which Sims, like, we make and what kind of shit we're going to be doing with them. So that'll be a thing. But if we do pick indie games, that's going to be things like See You Later Alligator, Planet of Lana, Dark, things like that are, like, shorter indie games that we can just, like, play and enjoy. So we will have to just kind of see what happens there with that, and it should be a good time, though. I'm very excited about it. Wow, look at this space helmet. I'm gonna be really mad if I get through most of these and then somehow still have, like, stragglers that I have to do tonight after I get done with all my work. But yeah, thanks again to everybody. That was, like, for those of you who don't know, that initial goal was made from about a year ago, actually, now, because there was a guy who had reached out and contacted me and was very interested in getting children's book work done, and effectively told me that it was because he was looking for a new artist because his old artist ghosted him. And you know, he asked me for some sample work. I said I was glad to oblige. You know, I gave him a little, like, it was a Halloween-themed book. Gave him a little sketch that we worked on stream. And then I told him the proposed, like, price point for everything. And as soon as he heard the price point for the book, he ran. Like, immediately. Just was like, absolutely not. For context, for most children's books, they cost about $20,000 to produce. That's pretty standard. That is, like, industry standard, so that's not even, like, really that crazy in terms of price. It wasn't like I was highballing him or anything. And then effectively he let me know that he went and the other illustrator was willing to do the work for free. So he was like, I'm not going to be needing you anymore. So I effectively got shafted at the very minimum, like, $1,000. Which was not cool, because he was, like, supposed to be... Yeah, point being, I was very sad. So That definitely at least makes up the $1,000 deposit that he was supposed to be, giving me, and it helps a lot. It makes a huge difference. Oh yeah, totally, Poison Dart. I think that's a great thing to do for countries. Like, it helps flesh out like what the people are like there for sure. I think that's a great idea. I like to develop all the cultures of the places that I have before I go forward. I know everybody's going to be doing these guys sitting or standing, but I think I'm going to do one of these sitting. We're going to do Greek philosopher Homer. Honestly, maybe I should just sell these as stickers. Do you think people care about The Simpsons enough to buy these as stickers? Damn, I didn't get the Penguin Random House position. The position was closed, which means that they hired from within the company as per usual. Damn, too bad. Sometimes that's the way it goes. That's like the fucking 8th or 9th time I've been rejected from Penguin Random House. I'm so fucking sick of them. Stories end up flat without the world building of culture. It's true. Yeah, tell me about their food, damn it. It's true. If you like fantasy world building and culture, you'll love my book Mirror Gaze. It's based off of Mesoamerican cultures and indigenous cultures. And it is free to read on Wattpad if anybody is interested in that. It's currently a contender in the Watties. Yeah, true, food is good. But honestly, if they're an island nation, it's going to be fish. Like, anything to do with the water is going to be their #1 biggest export. Also, to potentially think about, like, rare minerals or gems that are going to be there. Because I know for, like, certain cultures, like anywhere in China, for example, their main export, one of them was jade. The other one was going to be mercury or cinnabar. That was what they called that back then. Of course, you could have animals that provide things like ivory. But yeah, fish is going to be huge for any country that's on the water. But some countries just don't have main agricultural imports. Like, I feel like, for example, that's why England conquered a lot of the world, was because they didn't really have very strong agricultural imports. Or exports, pardon me. And so they felt like they needed to go and get money, get goods that could provide that money for them. So depending on what your culture's needs are, like an island nation, for example, would probably not be very agricultural. Like, there's a reason why Polynesian people don't really eat anything but, like, pork and chicken, because they can't really raise anything. Yeah, I was going to say, yep, Jay's got it. Jay's beat me to it. Pork and chicken. And then, of course, goats, if you're thinking more Caribbean, like Central Caribbean islands. Those guys, they love their goat as well. So agriculture's definitely probably not going to be the one. Oh yeah, true. Fruit's good. We love fruit. Yeah, they got access to all the good fruits. Like pineapple, coconut. Consider the coconut, you guys. But that actually it brings up a good point, though, because it is a good thing to think about. Like, the whole point of that Moana song, Consider the Coconut, is talking about, the cultural, not only the cultural importance of the coconut plant for the, like, Samoan people, but also the actual physical importance of the plant. Because if you think about a coconut, like, you can eat the meat, you can drink the water out of the coconut, you can cook with it, you can use the husks or the shells as not only like decor, but like coconut armor. You can use it to build furniture. So there's like so many things that you can do with the one specific plant that it might be a good idea to have a plant that is like a really important like staple like that, because a lot of cultures have that. Like for the Chinese it's bamboo, and the Japanese it's bamboo, right? It depends on like what you've got going on, versus like somebody who's like Scandinavian, for example, it might be oak or ash are going to be those kinds of plants instead. Things that are kind of multi-purpose and you can use for like the indigenous Americans, it's like corn, right? Corn is huge because you can eat it, you can like use the husks to make stuff with, like it was just Oh yeah, no, if it's like Iceland, yeah, it's gonna be literally all root vegetables. But yeah, like I think unfortunately with a lot of island countries, they don't have a lot of really valuable exports necessarily, unless it's gems and minerals. That would be the number one thing. Is it's like can you make money off of the thing, Oh yeah, Sago. We do like Sago. Sago fucking rocks. Me and Sago and cassava are friends, though. Yeah, so then I would literally poison dart if it was me. Oh yeah, pearls. True. Yeah, I would literally just look at what is valuable as resources in Iceland and one for one copy it. Like, you can rename the gems as something new or things like that, but yeah, like volcanic glass, that could be something that they could sell, because Iceland is literally covered head to toe in volcanoes. So very similar to like Hawaii, where it was like a volcanic formed island, so too is Iceland. So they have active volcanoes going all the time. Homer Simpson looks like a Muppet. I'm just saying. Yep. Well, and honestly, as somebody who's been to Scandinavia, their fish is literally like nothing in the world. It's so good. It's like there's a reason why. Oh yeah, ambergris. That's a good one too. You could also look at the Faroe Islands. That would be an interesting place to do some research, maybe. The Faroese people are known for whale hunting. That's like their entire thing is whale hunting. I don't think they have moose in Iceland, but they do have reindeer in Iceland. Oh yeah, and amber too. Yep. Yeah, amber's valuable as fuck. Did you guys hear about the lady who was using like I think she's a little old Italian lady, but she was using this weird colored glass as like a doorstop for like literally her entire life, and then her relatives were like, "Oh, this seems like oh yeah, she's a little Romani lady. Yeah, I think she was Romani living in Italy. She's a little old lady, and she had like this piece of fucking amber, and she didn't know it. She was using it as a fucking doorstop, and it was worth like over $1 million. She had no idea. Literally no clue. Speaking of very expensive minerals and metals. Ah, cool. Yeah, so you know. Yeah, I would, maybe, if, I don't know if your granddad's still around, but that would be a very cool place to research. Yeah, the Faroe Islands are beautiful. Oh my god. You could even have things like, because I know puffins are huge in the Faroe Islands too. You could have like rare birds that they trade feathers. You know, like those feathers could be important, or beaks of birds. You know, they're like cool for decoration. Or if you want to make them magic, you know, like they have maybe magic animals that they're also trading in. Puffins are cute as hell. You're 1000% right. I love them. I want to visit the Faroe Islands really bad. I watched a documentary on their food, and now I can't get over it. Or like langoustine. I think about langoustine too. That's another very like specific. I think the Faroe Islands actually are the #1 exporter of langoustine, like the shrimp. You know, so it's like some areas you just have animals that like that's the only place that they exist is around those areas, and so having something like langoustine could be kind of cool. I used to want one as a pet. Oh, so sad. They're really cute, though. I could definitely understand wanting one as a pet, because I would, too. They're so hella cute. Nope, you live in Canada now. That's where you live. Sorry. I hate to be that guy. You did this to yourself. Let me see. He does have sad little nipnops. We're gonna give him sad little nipnops. One spelling mistake can ruin your life, kids. Homer Simpson. God, these statues are beautiful. God, gorgeous. I would love to be able to... God, I got the travel bug so bad, Jace. Like, so bad. We need to go. I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be in the United States for the election. I wish I could just leave. That's okay. It'll get to a point where suddenly, like, hopefully I'll have money. I'm mad about Penguin Random House, but that's okay. I'm just mad because I know I was qualified for it. But because, did they close the position, or did they actually hire somebody? Let me see. I love how they're like, we hope you'll continue to apply, and it's like, I don't know, this is like my 10th application to you guys. 8th. Oh no, they filled the position. Yeah, so they got somebody else. I just didn't get it. And that is a pity. Honestly, I should just start my own publishing company. I have to try and figure out how, like, the logistics of that, though. I don't know if I could sell enough copies to justify that. I'd have to figure out logistically the best way to sell books. And what size of advances I could actually afford to give authors. Things like that. It would be a very chunky endeavor all of a sudden It would be worth it, I think, but I'd have to like sit through the logistics of figuring that out. Oops. Well, see, it's not necessarily the startup costs that concern me, because if you think about it, a micropress publishes 1 to 3 books a year. My book, one of my books, costs that much, right? Or as one of those 3 titles. So technically, my micropress could consist of just me if I wanted to, right? So then I don't have to worry about other authors, but what I do need is to come up with a proof of concept model that allows me to show, like, yes, I do sell books. Yes, I can make you money. Yes, you should publish with me, because that, of course, is the major issue that I have with fucking whatever his name was. I can't even remember. His name was so ridiculous. I feel bad that guy, he feels like not real. That other guy that contacted me feels like not a real human. Oh yeah, Drayton Garbade. That guy. So that's the problem that I have with Drayton Garbade and clandestine Citadel Press, is that they don't even have enough forethought to have a website, right? Which of course looks unprofessional and not real, right? And so the thing is for me as a publisher or somebody who has already successfully self-published my novels, the question that I have as an author, of course, is what can these people do for me that I can't do for myself, right? How does that work? And so I would have to be able to come to these authors with a proof of concept that is so good that they couldn't say no, right? They really couldn't, they wouldn't want to say no. And that would mean that typically I would have to be able to offer them something that they can't provide for themselves, which is reach, right? But I don't know how to go about helping an author get to, like, because really, truly, if we're talking about the costs of producing a book, let's see, editing costs are about $1,000 or $1,500 for me, but really, realistically, it's about $2,000 if we're going to be going professional editor route. I got to do some quick math in my head. Let's assume it's $4,000 per title. I'm going to just shoot really high and assume that it's $4,000 per title. That means in order for me as a company to break even, I would have to sell 250-ish copies, probably more like 275 copies, physical print copies of a book. The book should break even in a single year. So that means that I need to sell 250 copies in 1 year. Now, knowing that for me on my end, I actually sell 100 copies of my own books and just slightly over of my own titles every year, 250 is not necessarily unattainable, right? But most of those sales happen because of in-person presence. And so I'd have to figure out my game pretty intensely to try and get people to purchase books in person, which means, of course, that I, as a publisher, would mostly have to do things like be present at physical events underneath my publishing house and be like, hey, you know, I have my titles, obviously, but then, you know, I'm also publishing other people's books, right? And helping authors sell their books, which already is, I think, something that most authors, like publishers, do not give their authors, is that kind of reach. The question is would I be able to, as a single person alone, make those kinds of sales? Because if I were to sell only ebooks, let's see. I would have to sell around 660 ebooks in order to get to that point. I don't know. Let's see. What percentage of book sales are paperbacks? Paperback books had a 38% share. 38% share. Hardcover is a 32% share. 30% share. Audiobooks make up 2%. Ebooks make up around 15% or 12%. So if we do the math like that, that gives us a pretty good estimate. Like, let's assume that I'm not selling hardcover books and instead of just selling paperbacks total. So then that becomes 69% of all of my book sales are going to be physical physical actual books. So that's about $2,760 of physical book sales, which means I have to sell 180 books a year of paperback books. But then that also means too, that I have to sell 200 ebooks on top of that. So that's what that would roughly look like, is 180 physical books a year and 200, give or take, ebooks a year in order to actually make, for that one author, cover the entire production costs of the book. Yes, and I 100% agree, is that would be where that's the question that I have to ask myself, is how do I do that in 1 year? And the answer is unfortunately, I don't know. And I wish that I did. Because obviously, if I did know that, then I would be selling my own books. You know, I would be meeting those thresholds at a little bit higher of a threshold. Because right now, I would say probably my ebook sales make up about 2%. I can actually do the math, really. And I haven't, looked at my book sales. Truly in a minute, but I'd be willing to bet that I would say my book sales probably make up, my ebook sales make up 5% or less, which is about just under half of what the alternative is. Like what the industry standard or industry trend is specifically. So that becomes the question, is how do I boost those sales? Going to physical events obviously is the number one thing I think that would be up on my list. And I would just have to go to every physical event humanly possible. The problem is I'd want to get my books or the books into a physical bookstore, but there's no guarantee that with that physical bookstore that that would result in anything. Well, and honestly, the person that I need to fucking talk to is Josh or Ashley.
Yeah.
Just curious because, and maybe I'll just pick Josh's brain and see if he has any insight on that, because really that should be the goal, and realistically approaching authors and letting them know hey, on my own, this is all that I can do for you, and because I'm a small ass publisher, so this is not going to be overnight, J.K. Rowling levels of success, this is not going to be how this goes. But what I can do for you is I can give you that 260 book leg up.
Yeah.
Right? That's $260 worth. And for an author, just out of curiosity, Or well, of course, actually, I'm doing this wrong too. Hold on. Or well, no, maybe not. I think my estimate probably is fine because I overestimated. I have to consider the payment that I'm also giving to authors for like royalties as well. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't consider that.
Yeah, and on top of that, like potentially even if you were to create like an actual business plan for this publishing house, right? Presenting a potential like partnership with Pubvendo for marketing, and see if there were any potential deals that you could strike for even just like discounts because you're going to be generating them regular clients, depending on how this goes, right?
Oh yeah, and that would unfortunately, just based on the cost that I know they require, it's at a minimum $1,000 for them to do market analysis, things like that. And those are all things that I've learned by working for them, so I could not justify that cost. I don't think until further on down the road.
Which is where my thought with things like if there are grant programs and stuff to help with these startup costs in the beginning, because getting you to that point further on down the road is ultimately like this. I feel like that would help expedite things because it takes money to make money.
Oh yes, it definitely takes money to make money. So I would have to have some kind of investment or investor into this, but I would have to have the most kick-ass business plan humanly possible before I did something like this. But who knows? But you know, that would result in let me see. I'm going to just find the median here. You know, that's unfortunately for a lot of authors, I don't know if that's necessarily, you know, it's not like the most beautiful paycheck in the whole world. You know, for an author over the course of that year, that looks like $200 in their pocket. And it's tough because I don't think most authors know that. You know, that you're not going to be, you know, making a bunch of money off of these things. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to think about. Cool, we got food and supply trades now. We got fish and vegetables. We got medical products, rare metals, monster products. Nice.
Oh, something else to consider for Poison Dart, textiles.
Oh yeah, textiles. Yep, can't forget.
Like, those are always valuable, especially if they have like a specific like even just like beadwork too. Those things are considered valuable for trade.
Yep, true. Yeah, that sounds awesome. World building is fun, but also super stressful and hard. I overestimated the time that these homers were going to take me. Or underestimated, that's what I mean. That's the word that I'm looking for. These cursed ass homers. But yeah, I don't know. And that might be something that I'd have to talk to Q about as well, because she generates more sales than I do. You know, so I could see what her strats are, because if we could combine our strats together, because it's starting to look more and more like I don't want to play the Big Five publishing game. You know, like if I were to apply again to another one of these businesses, that's fine. But they're so exclusivist, I don't know. Oh yeah, boat making too. That's a really good idea, Poison Dart. Yeah, because like I would buy boats from like the best people with the best boats. You know, it makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. That would be amazing. And if like depending on how advanced your fantasy civilization is too, you know, you could have them also making like things like seafaring monster hunting equipment, you know, like harpoons or like weapons of war as well, because like they're going to be the most familiar with being able to fight things on the water. Yeah, I don't know. It's just seeming more and more like I should just publish other people's books. Like, I know I have the knowledge of how to make it look good. I just need to figure out how to actually get them to sell. And of course, the main rub with publishing is, I have to trust that the writer's work is good enough. And of course, I'm going to be doing things to like taking pitch submissions and things like that. And so I know I will have a guaranteed at least one book a year until I can start to get enough traction that, these things are going to like start to slowly sell. But the reality is too, is that not everybody has like a polished book. What I do want to be able to do is for these people to be able to give them, these arms are too short, to be able to give people to actual feedback about why their book didn't make it through the slush pile. Because that's another shitty thing about going through like a regular publisher is that, I want to need this head to be bigger too, is that they don't give you feedback about why your book failed, why they didn't want to accept your title. And I think that that's really shitty. So as long as I have the ability to do so, I would like to, and maybe even still that could be a core value for my business model, is just saying that, we will always give you feedback about why your book didn't make the cut, and just be honest about that shit, because I do think it's really disheartening as an author to just effectively be ghosted, and also to always like accepting direct submissions, because I know a lot of publishing companies, they do not accept direct submissions. Like, you have to submit through an agent, which I think is bullshit also. So I would really like it to be as accessible as humanly possible. But the question is can I figure out how to boost sales? Because I would need to have a proof of concept effectively with my own work that yes, I can double my sales successfully. So, just interesting things to think about.
Oh, my body. I cracked my back.
Yeah, because probably building a presence on TikTok is also going to be huge. Yes, well, in physical sales, in my opinion, I definitely agree with that, Jace. Also, everybody should hydrate. Drink some tea, drink some water, coffee, soda, anything that tickles your fancy. It has been demanded of us. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And like, I do think that physical book sales are the most effective way to sell your books, because you can get people excited about the books in person, but that would also come with, that's kind of something that the publisher can't pay for in terms of the author, right? Is that I can supply the author with the books, like say the author is like, hey, I'm doing this book event, can you ship me like 15 books? Sure, I'm going to eat the cost of that. That's going to be on me, and I can ship it directly to them. But that's up to them to generate those sales, right? But that benefits everybody, so at that point, like I think about the publisher that I'm published with currently, and how they, they're like, oh, well, this is author-driven marketing. In other words, what they mean is that they don't do jack shit. Right, but to some extent, an author has to recognize that they are going to have to sell their books to some extent, which is okay. That's okay, right? And it should be fun for them. That's really the whole point, is that this should be fun and shouldn't be stressful, and you can let an author know that, like, this is the threshold that I will be getting you to, But any more than that, I can't guarantee, you know, and the rest of the sales and how successful your book is going to be dependent upon how much you are willing to put into it, you know, like how much are you willing to go to those physical events and things like that. And a lot of the times bookstores will let you do events for free, and so of course the goal would be to always try and get authors into a place where they're not paying out of pocket a bunch of extra costs to sell their books, because we want this to be also affordable for the authors as well. I'm gonna give Homer Simpson the tiniest little fucking cowboy hat. Like, it's literally gonna be the tiniest hat. But yeah, I think as the publisher, I would like to be able to tell them, like, yes, you know, I'm going to sell X number of, go to X number of events a year for you, and this is part of my contract with you, you know. And Q is a good resource for that. But I'm going to have to reach out to her and see what she thinks. Oh yeah, nice. Pottery, jewelry, clothing. Yeah, definitely art sells, for sure. As somebody with like an art history major, art has always and will always be like a super valuable commodity. That would be a great thing for them to sell. Teeny weeny cowboy hat. I need to have him have like a little toothpick. I never want to draw Homer Simpson again after this. Like, I'm never drawing this character ever again. I don't even care if somebody approaches me and is like, here's $50,000 to draw Homer Simpson. I'd be like, sorry. Commission you, Goose, get out of here. No, Goose, no. Don't even joke like that. I can't. I'm gonna see if I can finish up this Homer. I'm gonna have to do 3 more off stream tonight just so that I can get these done, on top of doing some other, like drawing 1 more treasure chest, 1 more prop for my my stuff for my other class. But I've kept up on the homework surprisingly well this week, despite the fact that there was actually like a lot of homework. I don't want to look at Homer ever again, and I ain't even drawing him. I cannot. That's funny. Yeah, because unfortunately I think I don't have a lot of faith in physical bookstores, really. Because physical bookstores only work if you, as an author, either 1, have a really good relationship with that bookstore, or 2, have a lot of people in the area and you effectively, as an author, you don't even direct people to your website. You just go, yep, go buy my book from this bookstore, and that's like the only place that you're selling it at, which is fine, I guess. But they take such a massive chunk, and like as an author, like right now I'm having a massive problem with a specific bookstore not paying me for the books that they sold and got money from in their store. You know, so it's like, it is a thing that can happen where you just have a bad bookstore and it ends up not working out for you in that way. So bookstores can be kind of a gamble, especially if they are small bookstores. So I would personally stay away from that. I think if it was me in the beginning anyway, because then once you become a big distributor or a big enough heavy hitter, like I think about what happens to Ian Haramaki with Mercy, where it starts to become less of an issue. Then I could sell in bookstores at that point, you know, because it becomes like, okay, well, I'm actually generating so many sales, period. It doesn't even matter that this is how, you know, this is going to work. Aggregating a spreadsheet over time which conventions events generate best income to cost ratio for book sales would be good. Yes, true. Apparently Grand Junction is really, really good. And I think Q has a better idea of that as well. I'm sure she, as spreadsheet queen, probably has that answer. I mean, we could look at that stuff, no joke, and be able to figure that shit out for sure, which is interesting. And it's kind of tough. Like, I wish it was easier to generate those kinds of things, because some years, like I remember, Wicked West, the first year that it was out, that it was a convention, was a great convention. People were like, yeah, I did so well. Like, I think about Leighton, they were the one who told me about that convention, and they were like, I did so well at it, which was really cool. And then the next year was the year that I went, and you were there with me, and no one came. It was like literally a ghost town. Which is very weird. And so I don't know why events happen like that. So that would be another thing as well, to try and figure out, like, how to make that work. But yes, I think figuring out those kinds of event situations is definitely good. And obviously going to book-centered conventions over anime conventions, things like that, better time. Like Q and I, effectively, we decided we're not going to do, what's the NSFW adult-only con? Like, unless you've got, like, NSFW books, there's no reason to do that, I don't think. Like, it would make... Yeah, DakuCon. There's no reason to go to something like that unless you have a product that specifically focuses on that. And same with, like, a furry convention, right? Is it's like, I don't think I would go to a furry convention unless I had a book that was particularly interesting to them, like a dragon book or like Heaven's Equal or things like that. Ooh, speaking of books, my bookmarks are on the way. Yippee! I'm gonna have a bunch of King of Dust bookmarks that I'm giving away for free! Yeah, so that's something interesting to just kind of think about, I think. But I have my brain is definitely churning. The more that this happens to me, and it's not to say that I have, like, rejection sensitivity, because, to be frank, I don't really care. But the more I think about it, the more it's like, these big publishers, they're not really servicing anybody, and it's, like, impossible to get a job at them, and I would love to be able to have the clout of saying, like, hey, that's, like, and that's another thing that I'll have to tackle, is I would love to be able to have the clout and say, hey, I, worked for Penguin Random House for X number of years. And technically I have worked for a small publisher before, but that publisher went under, so it's like, that's not a super good look. Everybody got ghosted at the company by the owner. Like, it was just really, really bad. Probably one of the worst business experiences that I've ever had working for a company. So that was very weird. And then, of course, all the marketing experience with Pubvendo would hopefully be worth something. But I have to try and figure out how to market books like that. And speaking of that, I actually need to go and look at videos and try and boost some videos on TikTok and see how that works. Me and Alexander Chan are on the same wavelength. I think she's got the right idea. I just need to test and see if I can pull off what she's pulling off. All right. Teeny weeny little... Look, I love this little fucking tiny cowboy hat. Okay, this is pretty great, though. All right, so we got through 7 out of the 10. I thought you were going to say Alexander Hamilton, honestly. Okay, we got Cowboy, Philosopher Homer, Astronaut Homer, Rockstar Homer, Chef Homer, Ballerina Homer, and Samurai Homer. So at least we're making progress. I gotta go and do these later. Otherwise, I gotta bail because I have about a million other things to do today. So I'm gonna go and grab like a snack, I think. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be jumping right into working on job stuff, which it is what it is. So thank you so much for everybody hanging around, and be sure to check out that poll that is in the announcements section on the Discord if you want to vote for which games we're going to play. It looks like The Sims are winning right now, so I'll check the poll probably at like the end of the week, and we'll just see kind of where we're at. And thank you again so much for helping me meet. I gotta actually turn off that commission goal. So pretty sweet. It is done now. And yeah, we're doing great. So thank you so much for hanging out on stream and working on my homework with me. I will be back tomorrow. Thankfully, the construction outside is actually very quiet. So I'll be back tomorrow with editing. We're going to just be editing like a bitch to try and get through Court of Snakes 2. So I will see you then. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.